All right, there we go. Now we're back at it. Hello, thank you once again. Hopefully we are up and running with no real problems, but we never know. So, it is Shatterdaze upon us. I am Venom420. With me, as always, is Ziggy. You can't really see him, but he's right here. There he is. So, good on it. Hopefully all has been going well. Sorry for the late start this evening, but had to make sure my car wasn't totally fucked up, and that took a little longer than I thought. So, here we are. Let's start up. We are smoking some gelato, which is okay. I had some weird buds this week. They look good. They smell good. They were reasonably cheap. I don't know. They just, when I roll up a joint of it, it just keeps going out. If that makes sense. I don't know if you've ever had pot that won't fucking stay lit. It's not wet. It crumbles. It's just, yeah. The weird self-extinguishing pot. Which tells me it wasn't dried and cured properly or something. But it's not terrible, and it's what we're smoking on. So let's get a joint of that rolled. We will spin the wheel of dabs and chat about whatever is going on in this crazy world at the moment. Well, we probably won't. Let's forget about what's going on in this crazy world at the moment. But hopefully everyone is doing well. I appreciate everybody tuning in for the Ganja game nights last week, and everyone who voted. If you haven't voted, go to the community page on my YouTube channel and vote. So we'll play some games here on Tuesday. Let's get some. There we are. There we are. All right. So, about a week away from my next harvest, which should be coming up just before the 1st of April. The 1st of April will be about 10 weeks, and that's probably a little longer than they need. So, but that'll be good. So, looking forward to a harvest. It's supposed to be more snow coming to the Denver area in the next day or two, so that'll be fun. All right, let's get this rolled up. All right. But what is it, officially spring now? So that's cool. I got some wine cap substrate in the mail, and I'm about to be growing some outdoor wine cap. So I might do a brief video on me growing wine cap outside because it's just so cool. It won't be out probably till like September, but I might start shooting some videos on it now, on the inoculation process and setting up the bed and all that great fun stuff. So, alrighty, let's get this rollered up. All right. There we are. Usually I'm a lot more prepared. But like I said, today was a bit of a, who knows what was going on. I got stuck in the snow not long ago in my little fucking front wheel drive Prius, fucking shitty car. And someone towed me out, and I thought they fucked up my car because it was running like shit. So had to have a mechanic look at it and all that good shit. So no permanent damage. So here's to that. Let's get at it. Other than that, things are starting to kind of go back to normal. See, this shit just does not stay lit. This is some gelato from a company called That Pink Leaf, and they're like Salida Greens Grow, Colorado. It's where my girlfriend's mom lives. My girlfriend lived in that town for a very long time too, and yeah, the cool thing about this pot is it's sun grown. I like that they use the sun for a grow, but it's okay, to say the best. All right, so it is officially Shatterdaze, so let's go ahead and just spin that wheel of dabs, get that going as quickly as possible, see where we go from there. Get some tea, meow. All right, wonder that will work. All righty. Oh, free choice. Do I have anything of it? Let's just do the purple shark. Pretty much my free choices have just become what's right in front of me at that moment. I'm lazy. I should pick another one. Let's do a dab at something else. Let's fix this up. All right. And what we got? Meow. Let's see. All right. There we go. Nicholas. Mr. Q. What up, Venom? What's your favorite cartoon? Good question. And thanks for commenting. I was worried that wasn't going through there for a minute. Favorite cartoon? I think of all time, Futurama is definitely up there. Especially pre-movies, before they started making the movies or whatever. They came out as a series on, I think, Comedy Central, but they were actually movies. I bought them as DVDs before that. So I'd say Futurama still takes the cake. Rick and Morty has been the new show I'm watching, and I hardly ever watch it. I'm only 6 episodes in. I've seen the first 6 episodes. I just thought about watching them again today, but I have them on Hulu, and Hulu has commercials, and I never watch them. But Futurama, #1, I would say. I've been really getting into what's the other cartoon I've been liking? God, what's Midnight Gospel is pretty good. Spicy, yo, what's up? Hello, hopefully all is well. Hopefully the feed is coming in decently. Had a little trouble getting it started this time, for whatever reason. Carlos, South Park. Okay, South Park's got to be up there. South Park that's a damn close tie, I would say, with Futurama, if not a little bit on there, a little bit closer. Have I seen Disenchantment? It's made by the same people who made Futurama. I watched all of Midnight Gospel in one night on LSD. which is kind of cool. People on this show is who told me to watch Midnight Gospel. I had a couple comments, and I think it was, God, I want to say Liam. I wish Liam was with us. So I don't know. I hope he's still with us. I hope he's not dead. No, I think he's the one who told me to watch Midnight Gospel, and I've only gotten a few episodes into that too, and it's really good. I don't watch an incredibly large amount of TV, maybe only when I'm like eating and hanging, like a couple episodes a day. And it's usually old Star Trek because the world scares me. No, but Disenchantment, my girlfriend said it was okay, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as Futurama. So I was interested in watching it. She didn't exactly make me want to watch it more, if that makes sense. I'm like, yeah. Spicy. The mom episode of Midnight Gospel made me weep. So I don't fucking like I said, I've only gotten maybe, I want to say both Rick and Morty and Midnight Gospel. I'm maybe only 8 episodes into 6 episodes. I think I literally just looked at Rick and Morty today because I was going to watch it, and on Hulu, but then Hulu fucks me up. Anyway, Jesus, tag it in, Venom. How you doing? How was your week is what you're saying. Not great, but not bad. It is what it is. I've been enjoying doing the Ganja game nights. That's been really a up point to my week. What did we play this week? What did we play? I think we played more Rocksmith. I like playing Rocksmith. Nicholas, do you play video games? If so, which do you like? So I was just saying, every Tuesday I do a gaming stream, and I take a vote. So if you want to, and you should, everybody should, go ahead and vote for what game you'd like me to play. Right now, I only have 4 on the selection because I only own 4 games on Steam that I can. Well, that's not true. I got about 4 that I have downloaded. My girlfriend has like 30 games that I could probably just sign into her Steam. I just haven't done that. Anyway, I have 4 games to select from, and I will say those are probably my top games that I play. Those 4 games, and again, they are on the vote, so you can go to my page. It's my About page or my channel, my YouTube channel, and then go to Community. There's a vote. I don't know how else you guys got that. I don't know if it went on your, I don't know. Anyway, if like it showed in your notifications, probably only if you hit the little bell button down there. All right, Nicholas, where do I vote? I think the best thing you could do is if you're subscribed and you hit the bell button, it'll just pop up in your feed and it'll give you the vote. But if not, go to my main channel, wherever it says, my channel, and you see all my videos, my playlists and stuff. Then you can go to the community section or discussions, one of those 2. For me as a creator, for my channel, it's called community. For you guys, I think it's called discussions. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. And it'll be all my posts. I took down the week before last because people were voting on that one, so I'm afraid they were voting on the wrong one. But regardless, I have the right week up now, and it's between. And right now in the lead is Don't Starve, like at 6 votes, I think. Last I checked, and then The Shore, which is at like 3 votes, which is pretty good. I wouldn't mind playing The Shore again because I actually bought that game. And I haven't played it any because I wanted to play it on the live feed. So regardless of who wins this week, I might do The Shore next week just to get it done with. Although it does give me a headache. I tried playing it again. It's just one of those games that gives me a headache. It's a creepy game, so I'm sure they aren't that bummed about it. But anyway, so yes, go to my About page, or go to my channel, go to my community or discussions page, and there'll be a place to vote. So, Don't Starve is winning. The Shore, which is a Lovecraft game, creepy game, I don't know. Anyway, that's number 2 right now. Then tied in last place is Rocksmith, which is the game I've probably played the most because I enjoy it the most. And Session, the skateboard simulator video game, which before they fucked it up with the patch, it was one of my favorite video games ever made, actually. I love skateboard video games, and they did it so well. And now I can't even play the game. It's that glitchy. I'm like, well, it has potential. So those are the 4 in the thing, but I know there's more. So speaking of video games, I wish I could look. I found 3 or 4 other video games I'm going to probably get and put them in the list. There's a weed growing simulator video game, and then there's a drug dealer video game which has growing weed in it, but also other drugs, and you can mug people. It just looks funny to play. And then there's there's another one too. I was looking for stoner related video games to play because I figure if I'm gonna play a game, that would be the funniest ones. So there's like a Weed Farmer, and there's a couple others. Other than give those a shot. Nick, I voted. If you were on an island, what 3 things would I bring with you? Would you bring with you? Uh-oh. And the questions are getting harder. Island, and I could only bring 3 things. Oh, man. You probably want fire would probably be one of those first 3 things. A lighter. I know that sounds crappy, but I'm not good at making flames out of 2 pieces of stick. So fire. A pack of pot seeds. Got to be able to grow, not just fucking smoke. Can't just bring like a pound with me. It's got to be like seeds, viable seeds. And then one of those things for turning water drinkable. And then I don't need much else, man. Eventually, I'll get my shit going. All right. Let's get this going. Personally, I would not be super thrilled. I don't know, man. The ocean freaks me out. I figured that didn't include people. I guess another person might be good. Probably bring my girlfriend. That would help. Nicholas, who's my idol? Wow, these are getting intense. I don't really have an idol that I know of. Trying to think of like a musician that I look up to that actually say, oh, that's the guy who I idolize and would like to work my way up to being something like that. You know, for a long time, you know, I think I don't know. There's not many people who pull off enough for me to idolize. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I think we idolize a lot of musicians. That's the first thing I thought of. We idolize a lot of actors and actresses and shit like that, but I don't know, man. I feel like none of those people really do enough for the world for me to really, you know. I'm trying to think of someone who makes music and is a genuinely good person, and, you know, contributes to the point where I'm like, okay, that's who we all should be idolizing, or I should be. Sandy, how about Chong? Chong's a great guy. He seems cool. I'm just glad that guy's in good health at how old he is. I'm glad, and also because he's such a big stoner, it's like it kind of slaps in the face what people fucking think of the average stoner, maybe not being a healthy person, especially back in the days. I remember him saying that, you know, he told, you know, he's big into weightlifting and bodybuilding and stuff. He's really always been in good shape. And he got Cheech into it too, because he's like, I want people to see a good image of, like, physical image of what a stoner can be. And I think that's really important, and something I need to be working on, and everybody should be, is just taking care of yourself and staying in good physical health, even if it just makes all the other stoners around you look good. So cheers, Sandy. It's great for having you. Chong's not a bad idol to have. So here's to Chong. Fuck it. Here's to Chong. See, the first thing I was thinking of is who, and Chong's not a bad one in the sense where he's a comedian. He makes music because he started as a musician. Kind of. That's his uncle or somebody owned a strip club, and he was playing music there, and like he had a ton of connections in Canada. He was an actor. Yeah, a pot activist. He might be. Sandy, I know that was kind of a joke. How about Chong with the winky face? But you know what? He's actually not far from it. He was making bongs, Chong bongs and stuff. Like him and his son were doing that. He was on tour with his wife as a comedian together. Like, that's a dream. Like, yeah, he's doing it at such an old age. He pioneered all those things and brought them to a forefront, or he helped. He was on that cutting edge. He was just riding the cutting edge of the wave, but you still have to stand up on the surfboard. You don't just get thrown out on there and ride it on your own. So, what's your favorite show or movie Chong was in? It's always a tie between next movie and it's got to be Up in Smoke, though. Up in Smoke was the original stoner movie. It's what got them not just like kind of famous, but I mean mad famous. Why don't you hop up? Hop up here. Come here, Phoenix. Give me some hops. Do I have my... Usually I got some dog treats here. The dog's gone. Really, I like a lot of what Chong did. The only thing I would say is Chong never was able to like pull off like a serious role. Like if he would have even had one role that was like he had like a really heartfelt, like I don't know. I feel like as much as I would love to be a comedian, all those things, he did almost everything. But the two other big things, and he might have done one of these, is have a really good cause that you support. So I'm sure he probably donates money or something like that, but that would be a big part of everything I want to do eventually. You know what I mean? If you're making such an excess amount of money that you can start an empire for yourself and this and that, like those are the people who really need to be giving back to society the most. It always falls back on like Walmart will be like, oh, we're going to give 5 cents for every dollar you spend in our store. I'm like, motherfuckers, you are billionaires. Just donate it. Don't pretend. You're just trying to get people in your store to feel good about themselves and to think that it's a fucking ploy, and I don't like it. And I'm like, it's the people who are doing well. And unfortunately, the only time they donate to anything is when they have it themselves. No offense to Michael J. Fox, but you think he'd really be giving much money into Parkinson's or whatever the fuck he has if he didn't have it? Fuck no. He'd be making movies just like everybody else, fucking being, and he might like give to a different, I'll give to the homeless every year because you get tax write-offs for that shit. So the best thing you can hope for if you have a disease is that someone really famous gets it too, because they just bring attention to it. That being said, Chong is great. I don't know where I'm not like trying to talk shit at all. Chong's great. I'm just saying, and he probably does have a lot of stuff that he does. He seems like a genuinely good guy. So I'll support that. He's become a bit of a money whore where he'll just, do whatever for money. But so would I. I do that right now. No one just offers me any money. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix. You want to come here? You can totally jump on me. Hop up. Hop up. I had nothing to do with the dog either. Hop up. You want to hop up? She's like, no, I'm not hopping up. All right, that's all right. She said it to me. She's shy. She's camera shy. All right. But yeah, Chong's been a great guy for such a long time. I know during this whole COVID thing, he was one of the many people I had on my mind of, I hope he's okay. Glad that wasn't super hot and just fell over and burned me. He's in his 80s. Sandy, holy shit, man, I just looked up Tommy Chong on IMDb, and he's still making movies. A new one is coming out this year called Alien Danger with Raven Van Slender. Dude, he is a workhorse, that's for sure. I heard the reason why he's like, the reason we didn't make any more Cheech and Chong movies is because Chong didn't want to make any more movies. He's like, the worst thing you can do is give that guy a lot of money, because he's like, I'm retired. He's been retired for like 40 years. And then he came back and did Nash Bridges or some shit like that because he wanted to be taken seriously. And he never really smoked a lot of pot. He just was a big cokehead. Cheech. So I don't know. Cheech was great. He's the one thing I like about Cheech and Chong is there's no real straight man, because a lot of the time Cheech is the straight man. And that's a hard sentence to come out. Sandy, his character is called Lord Green. Lord Green in Alien Danger with Raven Van Slender. He was just in, I haven't seen it, but it's on Amazon or one of the movie streaming. I have Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix. Hulu, I got the like partial one with commercials, so I don't like to watch it. But on one of those is Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and he's in that movie. So I don't know if he plays himself. I want to see it. I would love to see that movie, even though I don't have high hopes for it. White, hey brah, what's up, dude? Not a ton. Not a ton. Talking about Chong, which there's nothing wrong with that. He's just he seems like such a genuinely good guy. A good couple things to watch on YouTube of his is his life story, A&E. I think it's A&E, like life story of Chong. And I learned a lot about him and how he started as a band, owned a strip club, or part owned it because his uncle owned it, and was able to pretty much run the place and have shows, and turned it into a comedy place overnight. So people came in to look for like chicks dancing, and then he'd come out with Cheech and do Cheech and Chong bits and shit. Great time. Chong played Alfred the Butler. Oh, did he? Alfred the Butler in that Jay and Silent Bob play. See, I was wondering who he played. Alfred. That's kind of funny. That's kind of awesome too. I could see him as an old, that's kind of awesome. I want to see the movie. There's a huge list of names. Even though, again, I don't know how I feel about if it wasn't great. I'm not going in with huge expectations of a new Jay and Silent Bob. I've watched the stuff that he was doing for a while, and they had been both. Surprisingly, Jay was looking pretty fucking rough. So I'm like, I don't know how he's gonna hold up in a new movie. What's he gonna do? Take his fucking teeth out? And, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. It just shows how much time's passed. And fucking Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, man, you want to hear some fucking horror stories about fucking hookers doing cocaine, shooting up so much heroin that you have fucking constipation and having to pay someone to like put an enema in your ass, and then like, dude, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse to the point where like, fuck Scared Straight. Just listen to Jay Muse talk about his weekend as a fucking heroin addict. And there's some other people who have that too. Steve-O's pretty bad. If you told me that Steve-O and Jay, like if they were friends at any point in time, they both just would have been dead. You know what I mean? They would have like pushed each other into some bad shit. And it bums me out. So there's two people. Liam's not with us, but he'd know this other guy, Craig Charles, who's Lister from Red Dwarf, and that's like my favorite show. He seems like he's had a pretty rough time, and he's got busted for like doing crack and a bunch of shit like that too. And it just bums you out when the people that you love so much on these TV shows, I just don't like. I'm like, really? They're fucking crazy heroin addict, fucking I don't know. Drugs are just rough, dude, and I don't wish them upon anybody. We were just watching something where they were talking about disassociation, and it's like that's one of the good, positive signs of this drug they were talking about is it's euphoric, this and that, disassociation, all these things, and I'm like, disassociation sounds like a negative, a bad thing, but at the same time I got it, and my girlfriend at the time, she's like, well, if your life is so bad that you don't want to be a part of it, that could be a positive. And I mean, I got it as soon as I even said it, but it's like, yeah, you're right. Gets a little weird, and I get why drugs can take you away from things, but I just, I don't know, man. I feel like I get that drugs can make you feel better when your life is worse, but they always make your life worse. So unless, you know what I mean? Like, so if your life is really bad and the drugs make them feel better, but you're actually worse, you just keep on fucking sliding into this horrible outcome of you're doing more to make your life better or more tolerable, but at the same time retroactively making your life worse. Therefore, you need more drugs, and you'll never end the problem. Like I said, I highly am against drugs, and that's why I think pot should be, even if they made it legal everywhere tomorrow, it's too little too fucking late. You know what I mean? You guys want to tax it and do all those horrible things. They really need to, retrospect, do some fucking restitutions for the people who have been persecuted. There's people in prisons right now everywhere for such small petty offenses on drugs, and then you got people growing fields. So this pot right here was grown in Salida. And that's Colorado. It's where my girlfriend's from. Well, she lived there for a little while. That's where her mom's living now. And small little town in Colorado, mountain town. And anyway, I was gonna make a South Park joke there. Anyway, small little mountain town, pissant mountain town in the by the mountains. Anyway, this fucking grow operation they have is so fucking massively huge. It's just it's disturbing. So I don't know. It just gets weird. It's all a money scheme anymore. All right. Well, we got the Mr. Zig here. Yeah. Lost my train of thought, but that's fine. Anyway, we're going to spin the wheel of dabs. Have a good night. Hopefully everyone's doing well, staying in there, staying positive. That's why I got the cat and the dog with me. Is there a dog with me? Is there a dog? Is there a dog there? Who wants to say hello? There's a dog that wants to say hello to everybody. All right. All right, what we got, man? Except for she hates the wheel. You always get scared when I spin that wheel of dabs, huh? But yeah, she's just crazy. But it is what it is. One day we'll get away from it. I don't know. I would love to have the ability to do what they're doing. Sandy, I got IMDb open for in another tab and looked up Craig Lister Charles. Wikipedia says it was crack cocaine that took him out for a while, but he's in recovery now, so yay for him. Yeah, like I said, I found that out, and I was really quite bummed because I was such a fan. Yeah, it was pretty rough with him. He got busted. Some cab driver was kind of being a dick, and he picked him up, and he was like, he was smoking crack in the back of the fucking taxi. So I think he tipped him like really good. So you tip this guy a bunch of money, you're smoking crack in the back, and like he knew who he was, and he was talking to him, And then like he had a camera going, and they sold the video to like a tabloid. So, but you know, that probably helped him maybe get out of that. Dude, crack seems like if you're gonna do anything, fuck man, crack's not a good start for him. So yay for him. Recovery is good, but it seems so hard. That's the only good outcome you ever have, is just hopefully you'll be able to stop doing drugs. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's many people's idea when they start, but I'll do it for 30 years and hopefully get out of it. But yeah, Craig Charles is up there. He's great. There's a couple other people where I'm like, it just bums you out. It kind of, it's hard not to see that when you watch them again. I've always said there's been a lot of musicians where I'm playing their music and I'm like, God, what are they on when they're? I'm like, oh yeah, they were on a lot of drugs. That's why they play like that. All right, but yeah. Oh, life is what it is. I get it. Drugs suck, but that doesn't. I don't know where to place things. The world's a weird, imperfect place. For how perfect everything is naturally set in some ways, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're on that perfect planet in the perfect position from the sun. You know, we do this good revolution. So, you know, everything was just perfect. We're at this perfect time in history where we can think and talk about things. For all those being in consideration, we sure fuck it up every chance we can. Or at least, you know, we really throw a monkey wrench into the whole operation any chance we can. I don't know. It's just crazy how much everything is set up to be pretty well functioned. And then as soon as we set up any type of systems of government, systems of thought and education, we tend to sour it quite fast. Interesting. But it is what it is. I haven't seen a Red Dwarf in a long time. Hopefully they're making new stuff. I need to maybe try watching a little bit more newer TV shows instead of repeats of old stuff, shit like that. All right, let's spin the wheel of dab, see what we're dabbing on. Accidentally scare the dog. I knew that might happen. She hates that wheel. Sandy, yeah, man, I see that. I see that whenever I see Ben Affleck. In his case, it's alcohol. Yeah, you can just kind of see, yeah, when it just changes how you see your people. I've heard, everyone's kind of heard this said, sometimes the worst thing to do is to meet your heroes, because you learn that they're not who you wanted them to be. But it is what it is. Uh-oh. Yeah-oh. That was on the boomstick. The boomstick. So I might have to put some water in there. Yeah, I feel you about the Ben Affleck thing. As soon as I realized that his parents had butts for faces, I can't unsee that when I see Ben Affleck. It's there permanently. So, and it sucks to learn about things about your heroes that you don't want to know. You know, you don't want to see that forever. No. I don't know. Jesus, there's a digital wheel you can get to spin. Yeah. Are you talking about online? Or are you just talking about like it looks like a little computer? I can just press the button and it'll do a random name generator in the back. I wouldn't mind either of those. But I like the wheel. The wheel has done its job. It's fun to spin the wheel too, trust me. There's something about the game showiness. I'll get something better in the I need to get back into the doing a giveaway on the wheel of dabs or something like that. That was always fun. I always have little things, if nothing else, CDs to give away and shit like that. which would be cool. So usually I used to do, if you can guess what it's going to land on, I'll send you out something for free. You just got to DM me your somewhere to send it to. And that was fun. I should do that again. Maybe after I get vaccinated, that'll come back as the giveaway, the Wheel of Dabs giveaway. But until then, we just hit the fucking boom shot stick story. Oh, look at that bone. You got a bone? Got a dog here. You want to show everybody that bone you got? You want to show everybody that bone? No. All right. Hey, Zeus, I like the wheel as well. The wheel is surprisingly fun. It's a fun thing to play on. Show everybody your amazing bone. Give me that bone. Give me that bone. I want to take that bone from you. Irie. I think that's right. Remember how the bear from Tailspin was the same as the bear from the Jungle Book movie? Price is Right vibes. Oh yeah, definitely with the thing in the back. Wheel of Dams. Okay. Tailspin. Don't know Tailspin. Sounds familiar. I did see something where the bear from the Jungle Book was the stolen animation from everything. Like they steal shit scene for scene on old cartoons. But no, I did not. Wasn't the old... And it was like, is this bear simultaneously like a jungle dweller and a flight instructor? I don't. Yes, they use the same animation sequence. See, I saw something on, I was scrolling through Facebook or maybe even Instagram, and it showed a bunch of Disney scenes where they're like, this is stolen, this is stolen, this is stolen. I saw Jungle Book was on one of them. I'm like, oh, wow. They really didn't fucking try on some of those ones. But you know how hard fucking animation was back then? Doing that shit hand by hand, fucking... Nowadays, man, we have to go all the way to China and have them do it to even get close. Which is fucked up because I don't know. But that's how it's always been, is the animation goes overseas. I don't know what that is. Irie, Tailspin was the 90s kids cartoon. So yeah, I do remember animation was hard as fuck back then. And it still is when they do it right. And but then you watch like South Park and that little like program they have, they make that shit within a week. Scratch, done. Voice recorded, everything. Granted, they've been doing it for 20 years and they got that shit down like clockwork, but it's crazy. And they don't have insanely good animation, although they kind of do. The hardest part I've heard is them trying to make it look like shitty animation, like it's cut out of 2D. It's hard to do that in new softwares. But yeah, I don't know, man. Cartoons, voice work, animation, all that shit's like so close to my heart. Irie, South Park is all done with oil paints like Michelangelo. Very, very high art. It's just South Park's great. I was asked what my favorite cartoon was earlier, and South Park is definitely up there for a tie in the top 1, 2, 3. Futurama, South Park. There are some others. I mean, yeah. And that goes back to everything. It's one of the few things that I've held on to. You can kind of have your whole life. I feel like when I was born, there was animation, but it was a little choppy, you know what I mean? I feel like this is with video games as well, where I was born in a time where both those things existed when I was born, but they were shitty, you know what I mean? And I was too young to play them anyway. And by the time I got to be like a little kid, but like Super Nintendo was out, and that was just advanced enough for me to get it as a kid. And as I got a little bit older, they would come out with the new generation and the new generation. And as the games got more complex, I kind of was growing with them. And I feel like cartoons were the same thing. They were kind of 2D and easy to comprehend as a child. And as I got older, they started becoming 3D, almost like my reality is matching my own comprehension and none of you actually exist. Kenzie! Hey, Franz. Hello, how are you this evening? Hopefully all is well. I'm about to load up the boomstick, so whatever's going to be happening here, it better happen quick, because I won't have much time to respond. All right, let's get that going, or I'll forget about it for another hour. Kenzie, it's always great to have you with us. Thank you so much. Hopefully all is well. Hopefully the little Paco Taco is doing well, and the June bug is doing great too. I don't know how to make a joke. So hopefully everybody is doing totally awesome, and then some. Let's get this going now. Oh, so hard to get anything out of me. Hey, well, you know, I dumped all the nasty ass water out of there. Good for me. Irene, have you heard of dab tabs? No, please allow me, and please indulge me, or otherwise I'll have to look it up. Dab tabs. Are they like edibles, or like just little pills you take that get you really fucked up? Kenzie, I got a friend and her dog here from out of state visiting for a dock diving trial, which is cool. That shit looks awesome. Probs won't get crazy, Stony, but she just went downstairs for the night. That's cool. Are those like little hexagon dabs? Yeah, I'm thinking either they're little pre-weighed dab pellets, or I'm thinking maybe they're like a pill, like a little like a pill where it's like a hardcore, like each one of these is like taking a dab, you know, something like that. I don't know. Haven't heard of them. New product, preloaded dab. You drop in your Banger Puffco and heat up. Okay. Preloaded dab. So I should look it up, huh? A dab tab. Is there a company or something that makes them? I'll look at it. I'm interested. You got my attention. Dab tab. Hopefully I didn't just cut out. Oh, yeah, little dab tabs. And they're hexagonal, yeah. Kenzie, you're right. Are those the little, like, hexagonal tabs? Yes, pellet likes ceramic. All right. So, all right. What are they? A dab tab is a brand new way to consume cannabis concentrates and extract. Dab tabs are made from a natural mineral-based porous ceramic, which acts like a sponge and holds the exact amount of concentrate or extract. Cutting-edge molecular science finally being put to good use. Dab tabs are just that. A hexagonal tab, dry to the touch, used for dabbing and transporting you to lands unknown. Lay flat against your heat source and wait several seconds for the releasing of the vapors. Huh. Dabbing gets cleaner, more high-tech. Leafy. These are all brand new, too, or decently new things I'm seeing. Huh. Tidies it up. Self-contained ceramic. And it's Tommy Chong's favorite. See, Tommy Chong, we were just talking about that. He'll fucking put his name on anything if you give him money. Literally, if you give him 100. We could pay. See, I should start a Patreon. Okay, here's something I've been thinking about. And this is something I could definitely do. But cutting-edge molecular science finally put to good use. Yes, that was in the exact words in the description. It's about time they did something with that fucking shit. Bitches. I've been trying to get my high on for like fucking... Anyway, Patreon. I'm going to start a Patreon. And one of the big things is I know for a fact that Tommy Chong will interview anybody for like, I forget what it was. It's like $1,000 or a couple grand. Anybody, he'll give you like a half-hour interview. Usually, sometimes if you're around him, that means you can come to him with a fucking microphone and just interview him for your podcast. because I've seen that, and I saw him. I follow him on Instagram. I think he sent it out. Anybody want, he does sessions and shit like that. That's why you see him in everything. That's why he's in commercials for everything. Anyway, I want to start a Patreon and have him on the show. It'd be great to have Tommy Chong on the show. He's fucking in his 80s, and you won't know. You won't know why. Oh, you're doing. He won't care. He seems like he's like, whatever, dude. Show, no show. He's out to make a buck, though, that's for sure. But that's why he's still relevant. Irie, definitely get Tommy interviewed. It'd be worth paying for, actually. You'd be grateful to see in the future. If I had the cash to do it, I can't even afford to get any new dab stuff. But I've been thinking about starting a Patreon. I've been thinking about doing that. And one of the big ones will be I can actually offer people money. And the other one would be I can actually start going and buying these things and being like, because I do a show called What the Fuck Is That, where I test shit out. I did some smokes. I still have my Delta 8 video to come out. I had some computer problems where my micro SD reader wasn't, or my SD reader is broken. So I had to order a new one of those to even get the videos off my camera, to edit the video, to do to the Delta 8, yada yada. Irie, get his wife too. She's hilarious. She's been around him since the beginning. Yeah, she's awesome. Shelby, yeah. See, and like I was saying earlier about him being like kind of an idol, the fact that he gets to tour with his wife and shit is huge. That's doing it right. He's a G. Like I said, and none of us are around forever. I'd love to have a permanent thing in me and him. I've never fucking talked to the guy. I was going to meet him when I bought my original Chong bong. I had signed up, paid a little bit extra, and you get to go front of the line, and he'll sign a Chong bong. I don't even know if we paid extra. I think if you just buy a Chong bong, you got a ticket. He was coming to a signing, and you just get to go front of the line. He'll sign your Chong bong and a couple other things for like $5 a pop. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And he got arrested, and that was 2003 for Operation Pipe Dreams. There's a movie coming out right now. If you follow the Chong, This Is Not a Chong Facebook group, they talk about it. rxglass is a guy who used to work with Chong Glass and Chong himself. He's on Instagram. You can look up rxglass. I believe, let me type here. rxglass. And Tommy, what is it? No, Jonathan Killman. I would love to do interviews with all the Chong guys and all that, things like that. That I might not need too much money for. But here's the thing: where if I could get Chong on here, maybe people might take it a little more serious and be like, dude, I've interviewed a few people. You can check out the thing. If it got enough views, maybe they'd be definitely more willing to than now. Although I don't have a bad amount of views anyway. The point being is Patreon, I also want to try the Puffco Peak. And then what was the other one that's out right now? There's another big one, the Carta. And I wanted to buy one of each, do like a Patreon, have us put up some money, which they're not that expensive, buy one of each, test them out, and whichever one's best, I'll give away on the fucking, I'll do a giveaway. Maybe a spin away. We'll do something. And shit like that. So there's a lot of different things I've wanted to do and get a little bit better videos and a little bit better quality, because I'm a broke fucker anymore. I was just talking about somebody about how much money I lost this last year. Well, everybody's hurt. I'm lucky to be working. I'm not complaining. There was fires. There's fucking floods and hurricanes and fucking who knows what happened to you this year. So if you're alive and you're well and no one's hurt, start saying your blessings. But that being said, I took a 50% cut in my pay this year, and had a totaled car and shit after shit after shit. So yeah, it's been rough on getting new products on the show and doing stuff and staying positive, but you guys help a lot. The show helps a lot, keeping me not only happy and positive and social, but also it keeps my YouTube presence up. You know what I mean? So you don't think I'm fucking just pieced out. If I don't do a show for like a month, it's like, well, why would you follow somebody if the big part of it is smoking like this? So, Spicy, would you work at a mushroom farm? Fuck yeah. I would do anything to work at a mushroom farm. I would love to have my own. I was just talking about this not long ago with somebody. I've known a couple people who come from big houses. I had an ex-girlfriend who, was raised in a house with like seriously like 15 rooms or something crazy, and or like 10, which is still huge something, what I mean? Double layer, and she's a single kid, and she's saying there was just like empty rooms, there's like 4 bedrooms, empty guest bedrooms, and I'm like, I know rich assholes like that who do that. I'm like, they're not even assholes. It's just like, you don't need that much space and room. If I had extra rooms, like a full extra room, because I had to, my only extra room is this, and I fucking turned it into a studio, and everything's crammed together. But if I could extra room, I'd make a mushroom fucking, not a mushroom tent, a mushroom room. I got mushroom tents in the closet, which are great. But it's not that hard to turn a whole room, just waterproof it, paint it, put some fucking tarp up, do something. I'd figure out how to make it, and then get an industrial fucking humidifier. I'd invest in shit like that, and make my own homemade garden and just sell them to like nice restaurants and shit like that, and the farmers market. Hit up those all year round, and fucking there's a lot of things I'd love to do. Also, I'd love to be able to move out and be more self-sufficient. I'm on my own. I moved out, but I would like to move out to the mountains and be more self-sufficient and grow my own food. And mushrooms are such a big part of it. Uh, I want to grow a bunch of different mushrooms. Anything with mushrooms. I just got. It's outside out. I would love to bring it in. I just got today my wine cap mushroom substrate. It's 5 pounds a box, like that, fucking huge, filled with fucking mushroom grain, inoculated mushroom spore mycelium. They were spores. Now they're mycelium. And sawdust, I believe. I need to buy a whole bunch of straw. I want wood chips, and they say you can call your local electrical place and shit like that because they cut down a lot of trees and they have wood to give away. I'm looking for a bunch of wood chips and straw. I'm gonna go to like a somewhere here soon. I need to go because unfortunately it's gonna snow again tomorrow. Today's the official first day of spring, or yesterday or today. I think it might be today. And I was gonna start doing my wine cap mushrooms outside. They're wine cap mushrooms, Strophareus, King Strophareus, I believe is what they're called. And they're wine caps, and they're these giant mushrooms that can grow like this fucking big, and they're fucking awesome. And they keep coming back every year if you keep up your beds and shit. You can grow them on compost, straw, wood chips. They're awesome, and I can't wait to do it. I already bought them. Everything's set up. I just gotta wait for the snow to melt because there was like 2 feet, and now it's gonna snow again, like another 6-7 inches. I'm like, great. Or they said maybe like 3 or 6. I forget. Regardless, it's more snow than I wanted. Mushrooms. They're good for you. They taste great. They make me happy. So here's to that. Let me get this thing loaded. All right. All right, Sandy, yes, today is the spring equinox. Austria in Celtic lore. Astara. Astara is born every hour. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'm ready for a little bit more light every day. Snow's great too. It is what it is. I just it just reminds me of how much I have to do and how much I'm not doing, like shoveling snow and going to work and shit like that. Work is already what it is, and then I deliver and get paid tips, so I just get tired of people like leaving me outside in the snow. Oh, it's really cold out there. Be safe, and then like give you no tip and be like, thank you, thanks. Snow is just starting to bother me. I would like it more if I had less to do and could just enjoy it more. Snow is good. I like that Colorado has snow. I was talking about that with my neighbor. We were talking about the snow. We both kind of went, oh man, the snow's gonna come. And then we were both like, but I do like that there is snow. The fact that we have snow is a good thing. Because Colorado's supposed to have snow, you know what I mean? Not having snow is a bad sign. So, all right. We'll smoke some more of this gelato. It's very dark, like almost purpley, and it's hard to get a good look at her. So this has been working really well, me taking a picture and then just showing the phone. There you go. So, I mean, it's good. It's just really dense, tight nugs, and they're just, I don't know. It looked very light in the picture, but it's almost purple here. Very dark. And I don't know. I almost got some gelato seeds because I think I've been bitching about my what you call it long enough. If you haven't heard it, my sour diesel. No, my green crack. That's what it is. I've been growing green crack, and I'm still going to give it another couple shots because I have 2 rooms of it going right now. And if I'm not super impressed with either of those, I just bought a whole bunch of Northern Lights, which is one of my favorites to grow. It's one of the ones I've grown in the past. I've always had great luck with anything crossed with it. Anything with Northern Lights in the name is usually great. This time I just went with straight Northern Lights. Same company I went with last time. So if I have more problems, I'm just not getting this company anymore. But it takes a credit card over the phone, right online. So I like this company. It's like the original Seed Bank, MS NL Seed Bank or some shit like that. And I don't know. They're a little bit on the cheap side too. So I don't know. The fact that the seeds are a little bit cheap, the last ones I didn't have were great. I'm getting a whole bunch of Northern Lights. They gave me 2 free Banana Kush seeds, which I'm going to definitely grow both of those. I love Banana Kush. So hopefully that turns out great. One of my favorite strains. And they offered 2 free seeds with that. I'm like, yeah, sure. Feminized. So I'm like, that's badass. I really want those to go well. And then they offered 2 free G13 haze, which I've never grown any hazes at all, I don't think. I don't think I've ever grown any hazes, which I'm very excited to grow. So I'm like, hey, that's cool. But I've definitely smoked G13 back in the day. That's an old school strain. In fact, all 3 of those are. And green crack is old school strain. So like everything I'm growing is, you know, I show my age. I wanted to try a new strain like wedding cake or Girl Scout cookies or gelato like this, but I don't know. I don't know. And I still might. I would love to try a new strain all the time. It's just pricey, especially when you can clone them for next to free if you can keep it going. I have 2, 4, 6, 8 clones right here, and my timing isn't working out because I still have a couple weeks. It might be perfect. I have clones right now, and I have a room that's flowering within a week or two. But the clones are damn near ready right now. So they look great. I could show you one before I take this hefty dab. So the clones are looking great. So got ourselves some healthy clonage. That is a healthy looking clone. All my clones do great. I've had a damn near 100% clone ratio on all of those. So, oh, see, it's got some roots coming out. This is ready to go. Holy shit. I just set that down there too. Poor guy. Let me put you back. See, this is ready to be transplanted. I tried to give it to my friend who came over today. I'm like, do you want one of these? And he's like, no, dude, what am I going to do with it? I'm like, put it in a fucking pot and just grow it, man. It'll be great. Nope. I'm like, all right. But look how long and shit, like this thing is huge for how little the leaves are. Normally an indica plant, I'll have them like this short and the same amount of leaves. So if you just like shorten that out, it's so stocky and so stretchy that it is what it is. But let's put this guy back. I didn't realize the roots are ready to go. This guy's ready, in my opinion, to be transplanted. At least introduced to full light, a couple hours a day, the whole nine. So hopefully they can make it another week, and I'll be able to put them in the other room. Anyway, Sandy, funny that you're into wine cap mushrooms because I just watched the YouTube by Paul Statmans about them. Look up the Cultivating Cooking Garden Giants with Paul Statmans on YouTube. I've watched that video many times, although he doesn't give too good of information about like how to do it and set up the bed. He just says that I remember. He's just talking about them, and he's just great. Someone called him the Bob Ross of mushrooms or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I like that. God, or they said something else or something similar. He's great. I've watched a bunch of his stuff, and I could always watch more. Wander and Fire, yo, indeed. Now, before I bought those wine caps, I watched that video a bunch. If you put in wine caps, that's one of the first ones that pops up. The ones I bought from are called Field and Forest mushrooms, and they have a YouTube video too. It's this lady talking in front of a greenhouse. She's a little bit better at explaining it than Paul. I mean, she says a lot, but the video that got me to want to grow them was this guy in like England, and I can't find his video. There's another guy in England that I find his video every time I look him up. I don't know how I found this video or how I'm gonna find it again, but it was just some guy in England just talking about, I grow wine caps every year, and it's really awesome. And I'm like, I got to do this. Then I saw the Paul Statmans statements. Yeah. All right. Wandering Fire. What do you think about the DARE program, if you know what that is? So I know the DARE program. I am a DARE graduate, a proud DARE graduate. I think it's complete and utter bullshit that's made by idiots. It's a Reagan-era fear tactic, war on drugs that is more war on poverty and race and anyone else that they find that opposes their way of life. I'm totally against it. I know that they did studies on the DARE program, and they saw that it did terribly as far as keeping people off of drugs. The 90s children are some of the most drug addicted people of the entire race of humanity, So that coincided with it. I know that they got busted. Like a lot of the people who like a few of the people who started the DARE program, which were police officers, got busted for some type of corruption. And they're like, yeah, DARE, because I saw a thumbnail where they're like, DARE police pull, and they were doing like a drug thing, selling drugs. But, you know, that's the thing with the cops is they'll confiscate the shit out of it. Yet they play both sides. I'm very anti cops anymore. You know, that's just the fucking absolute thing. All right, hold on. Wandering Fire. Weed is meth. Tobacco is meth. Alcohol is love, apparently. Shitty, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Meth is meth. I know that. Except for when it's not. That shit. I don't know what the hell you call that. That's not good. Here is to daring to not do drugs. Cheers, everybody. How we gotta do this? God, I hate this bong. Sometimes it's hard. I'm always gonna burn myself. Oh! Oh, I do love that those ones, Dave. He was rocking out so hard he broke his fucking fingers. Cheers indeed. Let's get this going again. Let's get this guy going. What's this all about? Woo! Woo! I'll tell you what, I couldn't imagine tripping in this room. I was just looking down at the light while I'm hitting this, and it's got all the tubes, and it's double. You know what I mean? If I was tripping and you walked in here and didn't know what was going on, I'd like go to smoke a bowl and end up like, you know, it's like, oh man, I can see one out of each eye. And eyes going this way, and fucking tripping balls, and just, I am able to work both of my. I am completely ambidextrous at this moment. Everything's lights are going off, changing colors, beams, and shit like that. That's the weird thing about everything, you know. I could only imagine what tripping before seeing anything was like, you know what I mean? So when you trip, now I see a lot of colorful geometric patterns and shit like that, and like shapes and shit when I close my eyes. And it kind of looks like neon lights and circuitry boards lighting up and electrical currents and shit firing off and all this crazy shit. I'm able to at least like be like, that's what it's like. You know what I mean? I can say that. Imagine pre-electricity, you know, all that shit's like fucking, and then you're seeing all this shit tripping, seeing fucking, it's like, yeah, I think that expansion of imagination, imagination is the key point to all invention. You know what I mean? If you can't imagine it, we don't invent it. You know, unless it's very rare. You know, unless it's something that's already there and we're just like kind of use it in a different way. True inventions are products of the imagination, and hallucinogenics can be a total, and even mild hallucinogenics like a THC can be a total catalyst for the imagination. And yeah, wow. I just can only imagine. Don't get me wrong, it's baffling to us with our, you know, advancements in every type of, you know, endeavor that we go into, whether that be technological advances or psychological advances. You know, we understand more and more about the mind, and we can map all these things out better than we can our own oceans. Yet we still have no clue about the actual core of the psychedelic experience. And then given that to fucking pre-literate, illegible fucking primate, dude, blows your mind. Sandy, hey Venom, do you ever go mushroom hunting in forests around Denver? Ever find anything cool? So not around Denver necessarily. It takes about, I'm sure the farther you get away from Denver, the easier it is. My girlfriend is from Crested Butte. Crested butt. Oh, I am out of shape. Gotta lose some weight. No, just joking. It's easier up in the mountains to find mushrooms, and she's had better luck up that way. I just started going mushroom hunting with her. I'd about the year before that, maybe not even, you know, right before I was obsessed with mushrooms. I've been looking at growing them, I'd look at foraging them, I've been looking at everything. But as soon as I met her and she said that she had foraged mushrooms, I started watching videos on it. I started updating myself on what they all look like and if I go and see them. We went like 3 times. We always found something. I think only once we didn't actually bring something back, but no good hauls. Nothing great. We found some cool, like I found this black one. I think she found it. Can't remember. I might have found this black one. Someone found it, but it was this black one on an aspen. Really cool mushroom. It was hard like a rock and round, and like it almost just looked like a bulb on the tree, but it was a mushroom. It was really cool. I wish I could have preserved it. Now we have different ways of doing cool little crafty stuff here. It would have been cool to do that. So we've both found some decent sized, God, what are they? I can't think of what they are. Boletus or whatever. Not Boletus, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, we found a couple bigger sized mushrooms, and they were okay. Most of them had been very full of worms and stuff, so we weren't able to eat a lot. I have high hopes for next year, this spring. Right now, it's still a little bit, there's a lot of snow and it's still wet, but that's a huge thing for me. I can't go too far from home, but fortunately, the mountains aren't too far from home. I'm pretty stuck here with all the stuff I'm growing and all the stuff I'm doing, the animals. Like, I can't leave for too long. I don't have a lot of people to help me take care of stuff, and it's kind of a burden. So, that being said, going to the mountains for a few hours and bringing the dog and going mushroom hunting is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do. Next couple months here, it's start up. Spring's a good time. I have to look at exactly what times things happen here in Colorado, because you look up information, and it's mostly from California. The people, California has a high population of people. There's a lot more cameras in California. Just I bet you if you looked at the overall YouTube accounts, California has a shit ton, and I bet everywhere does though. That being said, or the East Coast and shit, I see a bunch of East Coasters in Canada. That doesn't really apply to where I'm at. So I need to look at when good times to go foraging are. My biggest hope is to get a morel. I got a cool morel mushroom pendant for, I think, Christmas. I think I got this for Christmas from my girlfriend, and she also made this one, which is really cool. It's hard to see right now, but it's awesome. It's got some stones in it and some plants and a feather, and it's just wicked. So super cool. Yeah, I'm hoping for great mushroom foraging this upcoming months, and at least once I have a great camera to take with me, and I want to do a whole bunch of mushroom videos, and yeah, see how that goes. I don't know, the hardest ones are to know what you're looking for are psychedelic mushrooms, unless you're actually going to like cow farms and turning over cow poop. I imagine then you can probably guess that they're. But also, I've heard that farmers nowadays in most places give in their feed, they do something antifungal that makes it so those mushrooms don't grow in poop. So I've heard that that might be true, that might not. I should look that up. But yeah, there's like an anti-fungicide in the food that they give to the cows that makes it so the psychedelic mushrooms aren't growing out of the cow pies anymore. So you have to go to like a really small farm where they're not like, putting that shit in there, I'm guessing. Either way, also, so usually most psychedelic mushrooms are small and brown. And those are from what I've heard, I've watched some YouTube videos where like those are the hardest ones to guess that you got it right. Like there's so many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different small brown mushrooms. I saw small brown mushrooms when I was out foraging for mushrooms, but I'm like, they said those are the hardest ones. You almost have to go home, take spore prints of them, see what the spore prints look like. So it's a hard thing. Sandy, wow, mushrooms growing on trees are out of sight, like agarikon and reishi and turkey tail. That one that tastes like chicken of the woods. Chicken of the woods. Although they have chicken of the woods and hen of the woods. Hen of the woods, I believe, is cool too. And then there's jack-o'-lantern, which looks like chicken of the woods. There's a bunch of cool mushrooms. Agarikon is really cool for anti-cancer, I think it was. Reishi is another, or that one, can't remember. They're all good for you. Turkey tail, those are all medical mushrooms. I know that. Medicinal. Agaricon's crazy. It's very rare and shit now, though. It only grows in old wood forests and all that. Yeah, Paul Statman's is the guy who I heard all that from. His lecture he has this long lecture, and there's a few of them. And the one that really got me hooked is the one I like watching. I watched it like twice. I should watch a different one because they're like an hour and a half. But he's great, and he's easy to listen to. I have like 6 of his videos on my watch later list. As far as a bunch of like wilder mushrooms, I haven't even eaten a whole lot of them. At the natural grocers by my house, there was a package of dried mushrooms, and they had a bunch of cool ones like black trumpets and chanterelles and all these cool things. But I kind of want to eat those at the first time I eat them, I would like them to be fresh, ones that I actually foraged, but it's what it is. Yeah, mushrooms are my favorite. I need to get back into them. I haven't actually been growing mushrooms. I was thinking about doing them today. There's just a lot of work involved in growing them, and I haven't been able to do anything lately. That's why I've been playing more games. That's why there's been Ganja game nights. Navigation VR videos. Word. All right, let's roll a joint. What time is it? Feels like it's not too late. Yeah. It is 9:19. Doing good. I haven't been playing as much music as I would like to. Not on the show, just in general. I've been really meaning to get back into it. I have a lot in mind that I would like to do because I finally am able to. It's been a long time. It's been far too long. I missed a whole year making music when a lot of people are probably making more than ever, which is a good thing because they're stuck at home. It took a while. I had a lot of things I wanted to get back clear in my head and in my mind. And musically, I was a little bit upset with the way everything was sounding that I was doing, and I wasn't progressing, and it was just a bitch. Navigations. You just played that live. Nice, man. Improv is probably where I excel. I have no shortage of writing riffs and coming up with riffs. It's sitting at one riff long enough to finish a song gets boring, especially when you're the only person doing it. So I'll play it. I've been getting better. Usually I start with the guitar, then play the bass, simply because I'm better at the bass. So anything I come up with on the guitar, I can play a bass line to it real easy. But if I play something complicated on the bass, I grab a guitar and I kind of blank, you know what I mean? So I start with the guitar, play anything I want that sounds good, and then I listen back and play it on the bass and be like, yep, I can copy that on the bass. Because that's what I normally do, is listen to other people's music, play it on the bass. That's a bass player's job for the most part. So, yeah. Nice patch you're using. What's your rig like? Are you talking about the musical rig? I could tell you I just got a different setup today. A whole bunch of stuff. And then real quick, Robert Riggs, have you ever tried growing morels? So as far as I know, morels you cannot grow indoors. You can grow them outdoors. I've seen the spawn for sale. Everybody who's interested in spawn from, what is it, Fantastic Fungi, I think is the name of it. It's Paul Statman's actual site. I think it's Fantastic Fungi. And I feel like he changed it at one point. But anyway, usually I've been trying to buy stuff on his site for almost a year now. And it's always sold out. He has a ton of shit right now. The only thing I didn't see was the wine cap, which is what I bought. So I went to Field and Forest. But they were selling morels, I think, at both. So you can do it, especially if you live outside. I was watching a Paul Statman's, one of Paul's videos, we'll say, so I don't keep fucking butchering his name. And he said that the best way he's been able to grow them was in between two types of trees. It was like an aspen and a fir of some type. That's not the right ones, whatever. The point is, they like to grow in between these two trees, since they're yeah. So I mean, if you live outside in the right conditions, it seems like you could do that. And he was growing them because he was putting little like tents over them or something, little things where he's like, oh, little like pine cone circles or like squares, something. He was taking something outside, and so you could see all these little things that he had set up all outside. Where he's like, there's one, there's one, there's one there. And he had tons of them growing outside. I've never even seen one for real. That's like my golden thing. And I hope the first time I find them is this year, very soon. And but that'll be a magical moment. If I find a morel, even if it's a small little danky one, I will flip. And if anyone knows how and where to find one in Colorado, you want to make this guy a happy guy, tell me what's up, and we'll do a video and just take me there, and you'll just see me flipping out. So, but anyway, yeah, morels. So when I move to the mountains, if I should look at how you grow them outdoors and make that one of the big things I kind of would really like to be able to do if I find a place, and then get a bunch of spawn and inoculate my own morels out there and grow them on my own land, if that's even remotely possible. So Sandy, nice patch. So right now, I am playing into a bass cabinet, which is an acoustic B200, which I kind of like the bass cabinet. I've had it for a long ass time. For a combo, it's not bad. Yes, the musical rig is. It's something special. So it's nothing too special. I've always liked acoustic stuff. I have two acoustic bass. One's just a bass cabinet. This one's a bass combo. So the amp and the cabinet are connected. It's kind of like a practice. It is a practice one, but it's a big ass practice one. It's for practice amps and small gigs, which for me, pretty much any gig I would get, it could cover. And it's nice. And that's where I'm actually playing the bass and my guitar out of right now, and my computer, and doing most of my mixing out of. I should move it to monitors, but for right now, I'm actually mixing and mastering on guitar amplifiers, which is kind of weird. And probably why I have to do a lot of, but you have to do this anyway, where I go out into my car and listen to a mix out there, and then I'll listen to it on my TV is a big one I like to listen to, and then I like to listen to it on just shitty headphones, and then on nice headphones, and then you have a broad spectrum of what people are going to be listening to music on. Honestly, most people are watching on their phone. I mean, if most people could tell me right now, that'd be interesting. How many of you are watching on a phone? So, I mean, and how many of you watch everything on a phone and listen to your music on your phone? So a lot of people mix music to sound good on your phone. You know what I mean? So because that's kind of where people are listening to it. So, but my musical, so that's right now what you're hearing is it's going right into that, and that's mostly what I'm doing. And then in my room, I have a PA system and a guitar rig. PA system's just this cheap old nothing. Stupid. And then the amp, my guitar amp over there, is really special to me, although it's nothing incredibly special to anyone else. It was my father's. It's one of the few things of my dad's I actually got. He passed away a long time ago. One of the few things I actually got was my dad's Fender Stage Lead, which is an okay, it's like a $400 amp, $500 amp maybe, and it's from the 80s, so yeah, I mean, they're not anything crazy, maybe $300 even. You could probably find one. But for me, I wouldn't sell it for the world. So that's what I have in there, and I put some Patriots, Eminence Patriots in the back of it for new speakers on there. No, Swamp Things. I went with Swamp Things. What am I talking about? So I got some Swamp Things, kind of dirtier speakers in there. That was cool. It's nothing great. And then, but anyway, and then for the bass, nothing special. But I just got this cool thing here because it was cheap. Yeah, that wasn't too loud. That's good. So I just got this guy. So most of the cool stuff I've been playing with has been coming from this guy. Navigation, how much did you pay for your most expensive bong? How much did I pay? That's a good question. Honestly, not incredibly much. So the most expensive bong that was ever bought for me by my mom for like a birthday present or Christmas, it was birthday present, was my Chong bong, my original Chong bong. Here's a not a Chong bong, but my original Chong bong was $300 to buy it, and that was in 2003. Now they go. Mine might go for at its highest. I'm saying maybe $2,000 if I auctioned it. I mean, if I could get higher than that, that just means that someone really wanted it. It'd have to be in an auction. I mean, like more than one person wanted it and were bidding for it. But if I wanted to put it for sale, it'd probably be like 1,500. Would probably sell it pretty solid. And I'm saying solid, yeah. But I don't want to ever sell it. To me, again, it's priceless. But that's my most expensive. The most I ever spent on a bong might be my Nada Chong, and then I bought the matching uh, mini dab rig that goes with it, and those together might count. I don't know. It's nothing crazy. I have very cheap rigs. This guy here, so this little Harley Benton effects pedal is a super cheap clone of another effects pedal. I can't remember exactly. It's like a Nova something. Uh, Harley Bentons make clones. They're Chinese clones of shit. But this one, I've just started playing with it. It's got 200 presets, and like you can go. It's got all these amps in it and all these pedals pre-built, and it's been doing really good. In fact, to the point where I might make my next record with primarily amps, because you can plug it in the back to your computer and use it as an amp simulator. So it's got like oranges, and it's got Marshalls, and it's got all these cool things in here on top of effects pedals. And it was only like $100 pretty much, maybe $130. So for what it is, it's actually surprisingly well made. That being said, I also got a Harley Benton guitar because they make knockoff guitars of other ones, and I'm not incredibly impressed with my Harley Benton guitar, as beautiful as it is. But yeah. Robert, I'm on a phone. Thank you. See, Robert, on a phone. Most people are on a phone. That's what I mean. I hear a lot of the time, I watch a lot of music editing videos, and Expector Sound Studios is the one I'm thinking of right now, but I watch a bunch like that. And he always says, he gets a bunch of people who'll listen to his metal mix and be like, it sounds thin and shitty. And he's like, well, what are you listening to it on? He's like, my phone. It's like, well, yeah, your tiny little speaker, even the nicest phone out there with the best speaker on it, you're not going to get incredible. You can't really judge music being made off of that. Plug it into your car, that's another thing. Plug it into headphones, that's another thing. But if you're listening to it on that, it's hard for. It's like if I'm playing music on that, it might not sound great. And the biggest key I've noticed is just keep it quiet. Keep everything quiet, because if it's too loud on a phone, it just sounds blown out. Navigation nice though. Yeah, so that's my most expensive one. I'd say my next most expensive one's maybe, I'd say $300 for a rig. I got this thing for maybe $200, maybe less, like 150, $200 right in there. It's dirty as shit. James Schneider. Yo, indeed, yo. Sandy, wow, you're definitely doing your due diligence by testing all the various ways people will be hearing your music. You rock. So that being said, that's why I love the 2 albums I made, but they were not anywhere near completed. I have the worst luck. I was just telling somebody today, I'm like, if you weren't around me and you didn't know me, you'd think I was just like the biggest bullshitter ever. Because I'm like, this happened, and then this happened. Then my computer crashed, and I got a ticket outside when I went to the car, and you know what I mean? I just sound like it's like, yeah, that's why you're late, huh? That's why you're always broke, huh? I'm like, no, dude, and then it's like, no, dude, I'm like, seriously, everything's fuck? So like when I was doing those albums, I got everything like all like demoed out really far into it, and I'm brand new, so I can't duplicate the shit I just did. I can't I still to this right now don't know all the riffs to my first albums. I know them in the sense that I'm good enough now that if I relearn them, I could relearn them and be like, oh, this is what I was doing. But I didn't write anything down. It was all mostly improvisational shit that I was making on the spot. And they were demos that I was going to fine polish. My computer just crashes. I lose everything. Just like how my external hard drive just crashed. Lose everything. That just happened to me like a few weeks ago. I had a 3 terabyte hard drive with all my backups of my music, all the shit like that, all the movies, everything that I've ever had. You know, I fucking had everything on there. And all the backups to the videos of all these, because I downloaded all of these. So in case I get kicked off of this channel, I'll just reload every single, all 400 fucking episodes, you know what I mean? Or whatever's on there. There's like 130 right now. That's a lot of, some are really long. I made some really long episodes. I was a maniac. I just didn't care about any, I knew that you were supposed to make short videos. I just didn't do it. Robert Riggs, on a headset at work. Excuse me. On a phone, on a headset at work. But yeah, see, a headset's a big one, a good way to listen. I think the ultimate way, again, Spectre Sound Studio said it, but even the first time I heard him say it, I'm like, that's what I've been doing, so thank you. Car stereo. I have a system in my car, even though it's a shitty car. I just replaced a nice car that I didn't want to put a system in. But right now I have a setting for my bass, so I can turn that off or on. I usually turn it off because car stereos are perfect for listening to music. There's a reason why that goes so good together for multiple reasons. It's all soft interior. It's like a complete bass trap. It's a perfect room for listening to this shit. You're not getting any echoes off. There's some glass echo, but for the most part, tons of bass traps for fucking echoes to stop bouncing around in your car. It's usually got surround sound really nice. You can listen to it loud because you're by yourself. So usually, even if I'm making music in here, I instantly take it to my car to master it out. I've been doing all that shit right on my own. So, all right. Anyway, James, how's your Saturday night going? Treating you? Treating me good. It was a good night. I had a fucked up night or fucked up day the other day where my car was stuck outside in the snow and my boss unstuck me with his truck and he fucking, like, my car was making a weird noise and everything was fucked. I just took it to the mechanic. He looked at it, fixed it up, and was really nice about it. So doing a lot better now. James, how long have you been growing the dreads? That's the biggest question I get about in the real world, not this here digitized version of it. That's my number one question I'm asked. I used to say like 8 or 9 years, but I just saw a picture of me in 2013 and I'm completely shaved. So maybe 2014 I was growing them. So, you know, whatever that is, was that, yeah, 7, 8 years, something like that, which it feels like longer. Crazy. But they're going. I need them worked on, but I figure I still social distance like a motherfucker. I don't go out in public at all costs. It doesn't take much for me to not want to do that anyway. Carlos, best music was first heard in cars. I can believe that. I fucks with that. Best music. Dude, cars and music just go together. It's kind of like, yeah, some things just have always kind of clicked for me. And that's why I put a system in this new car. It's one of the few things I did, and I did it very cheaply. Oh, there's that puppy. It only cost me maybe $300 to buy the thing and have it installed, like less than $4 for sure. And it sounds really good. It's really loud. It doesn't take much to get a good system in a car. James, damn, I've always wanted them, but I ever since I cut my hair, I can't stand it once it starts touching my ears. Yeah, don't get me wrong, dude. It's still really hard. I've been trying to get better at tying them up and doing stuff and tying them back, but it's hard to either A, make them look good when I tie them back, or B, it's hard to, it gives me a headache. So it's a lot of weight, you know what I mean? It's really nice to have them like tied up and put off the top of your head and shit like that, or off the side of your shit, but it is what it is. See, it's nice when they're not on my neck. They're getting heavy. They're getting heavy, man. All right, Spicy, I went on a sweet nature walk today. I haven't done anything. It was really nice out today. I did not go anywhere. I did not do any. Well, I went out to get my car fixed and talk to my mechanic. He's a family friend. He's a great guy, but he fucking talks, and I like talking to him. It's fine, but it just takes a minute. You know what I mean? The guy's super quick and he's super good. I know he could bust that shit out, and like when he actually starts working, he's done so quickly. But you see your puppers? Let me see that bone. Come on. There's a puppers. There's a puppers. Oh, why do you have a bowl? Are you showing the bowl there? Come here. You want to show the bowl? Come here, sweetie. Let me see the bowl. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, she's walking with a little bowl in her mouth, and it's adorable. Yeah, let me see that bowl. Come here. Oh, oh, there's the bowl. Yeah, there's the bowl. Look at that bowl. Look what a good bowl you got. It's the best. Was there food in that bowl? Oh, it's clear too, so you can look as you're walking with it. Did you find out a new thing? You're like, look, this clear one's great. Oh, you're the best. I love this dog so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your bowl. Oh, that was great. Oh. Robert, I'm driving a semi right now. That's kind of crazy. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that I'm joining you at work on the road again. Ah, that dog's great. Yeah, that was the best ever. She totally brought me a bowl. There was food in that bowl. She's the best. The Bummy Banana. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Bummy. Good to have you with us. I'm a semi-literate space bum, so I feel you. All right. But Spicy, nature walk. I would love to go on a nature walk here soon. I need to get back into doing shit like that. I need to get back into shape. Summer, spring is a good time for it. Yeah. Last year was rough on all of us, but I know it was extra. It was rough on me in a different way, in the sense that a lot of my problems were, it just kept happening, and everything was shit. So here's to a better year for all of us. Robert, thanks for joining us at work. Bummy, thanks for joining us while I do work, while Robert works. Yeah, it's good times. My dad, his dream job was always one of them, besides probably being in a band and stuff like that, which, it was implied, but he never really said it to me. And he was never in a band while I was around, which is weird. He always played music, but he also didn't teach me any that much, very little, but I didn't have that much time with him. But the point is it's the mighty Lonak walked in the door about to smoke. Great to join us, Lonak. But he wanted to be a DJ, and I feel like sometimes I may not like play music for everybody, but I do feel like I'm on the road. What I'm saying, Robert, is you playing me while you're in a semi at work makes me feel like a DJ, and I like that. I feel like I'm accomplishing a small goal that would have made my dad happy, and I haven't ever thought about that making my dad happy hasn't been in my mind too much, just because I don't think he's around floating around watching me. If so, that's weird. But the point being is yeah, I think that it's always nice to. It's a nice thought for whatever reason. Oh, my brother-in-law drives a semi, and he said that I should get into it, and I thought about it because he makes pretty decent money, but they are so strict I can't smoke pot and do it. Even with a medical license, it's a no. No, no. Now, I've worked with a shitload of people at my job. I've been at my job 14 years. That being said, most of the people who work at that job are part-timers, and there's a lot of rotation. So, I've met a lot of people who do other jobs. I try to ask myself because I don't have any college education, so I can't put any of that on. So other than college-educated jobs, jobs you need to go to schooling for, like being a doctor or fucking operating, graphic design for the most part, shit like that. Who do I know who makes the most money and doesn't, really the most money? Just let's start there, and then is it a workable job? The two people I knew who made the most money without any degree and not needing anything, truck driver was up there. Especially if you go across country and shit and work for the right company, I guess, and do it for long enough, you can make quite a bit of money there. But it's not the healthiest for you. Being in it too long. You have to be very active outside of your job in that case. But anyway, the two people I knew who were making the most money that didn't go to college in order to get the job, or didn't have like that job like handed to them because they were rich or own it, or their daddy owned it or something like that, which is fine. I'm not hating, but a lot of people I know who have cool jobs, that's how they got it. One was a limo driver. Oh, get the Class B, bro. I don't know, man. Again, I smoke too much pot, and I don't think they're okay with that. And I legit smoke too much pot. I need to make sure that I'm at least semi-able to smoke pot on my free time at least. I don't smoke at work anyway, so it's not a huge thing, but or not like, it's very, very rare. And I used to, when I worked inside, I couldn't work sober. Not one fucking second. Not at a fucking real life job. I'm not made for that shit. So, but driving is another thing. I enjoy it. I'm outside listening to my music or fucking lecture or whatever. I'm having a good time. I'm by myself. I know what I'm doing, and I don't want to get lost. So I don't really need to smoke. But, and especially as far as anyone else in the world ever needs to know, you know what I mean? So I don't really smoke. But they drug test like a bitch on, especially his job. He works for FedEx, and they test. I have two friends who work at FedEx. I've known multiple people who work at Amazon, some of which at least know about the driving of the trucks there. And they all test like motherfucker. Of course they do. So, which is fine. And I'm glad they do. And I'm glad they kind of don't accept it, because some people aren't the best smoking weed and taking edibles and shit. I hope not everyone I hope not every truck driver on the road is on that shit. But the two close ones, and they both kind of involve driving, that I've known people who made the most. Drive for yourself. That would be cool. Robert, is that what you're doing? Is driving for yourself? How does that work? If you could enlighten me on how that would work, I might look into that. But the two, and while you think about how you may enlighten me on that, but don't, if it's dangerous and you're driving, don't enlighten me. No, I'm just checking. Regardless, I won't tell. No, but was gonna say I wouldn't mind. I might look into that. Two big most money making jobs I know of people who didn't have to go to college for the jobs they were working. They might have had college degrees. I don't know. One was a limo driver, where he said they drug test to get the job, but they even said like they were all stoners, or at least he's like one of the dudes there was a major stoner. So he's like, I don't think that was a problem as far as like getting randoms or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure if you cause an accident, they might drug test you. But again, I can be like, I have a medical card, I didn't smoke at work, yada, yada. Regardless, I think that was it. So this guy was a limo driver, and he's like, dude, I fucking take people to the airport mostly. So he's like, it's a quiet drive. I don't have to talk to anybody because 90% of them have the window up now. He's like, everybody is on their cell phone or on their fucking tablet. He's like, nobody has talked to me. The only people who talk to you are like really old people who want to talk to you. Otherwise, everybody's doing something. There's cell phones now, you know, and whatever. So people are just fucking. He's like, so I'll take a limo. I'll take people to the airport. And he's like, my average tip is $100. He's like, I do that like 4 or 5 times a day. And he's like, I try to work 6 days a week. And I'm like, and he's just adding up. He's like, and that's cash I don't have to fucking put tips on, do nothing. And he's like, and then I make, I forget what it was, like, he's like 10, 15 bucks an hour driving for the limo service they give me. And I'm like, fuck. And he's like, yeah, dude, fuck. And he's like, and you forget what deal he gets on limos. He gets like some crazy deal on limos. So he's like, if I ever want to take a limo or something, I get it really cheap too. And he's like, so I've thought about doing that. I'm like, damn, limo service sounds fucking G'd up. If I could do that, I might do that. That one guy, hey. All right, Robert, you would have to own your own semi. So you own your own semi and then you self-contract yourself out to like, that wouldn't be terrible, except for, you know, I've heard mixed things on semi driving. My brother-in-law does it, but he's in towns or in local. He doesn't usually go outside of like Wyoming. He's back every night is the thing. He might go out of state, but it's not for time. I had a friend who did it, and he was on the road for months at a time and shit or something like that. Like he was never home. He even bought a house because he was making great money. And he bought it in the middle of nowhere, though. But he's like, I was traveling through this place, and it was just beautiful. I forget where it was. He was like, it was like fucking, I forget where it was. But it was kind of like a Wyoming or Nebraska type places. But he's like, dude, the house was amazing, beautiful place. I bought this house for nothing. But he's like, so he moved in, and he doesn't know anybody out there. So he's in this big, beautiful house alone by himself, and he couldn't take it. And then he's like, and then I'm on the road all the time. And he's like, I'm just constantly alone. He's like, so I moved back in with my parents and my family. He's like, at least, he's like, I was going crazy. He's like, I'd rather work a shitty job and fucking, he's like, I couldn't do it. So I could see that kind of bugging me. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. So limo drivers up there too. That one guy, being an owner op with your own dot number is expensive. Yeah, being an owner op with your own dot number is expensive. Are you talking about the semi thing? Yeah, I could see, well, owning a semi. How much is a fucking semi? $100,000, you know, at least. I don't know. I'm guessing. And then the trailer. I mean, I don't think you do your own trailer though, right? If you own a semi, you just own the front part, and then you take loads. The back part you don't keep. I don't think. All I know is if I owned a semi, I would call it the Pork Chop Express. And I would paint it exactly like the Pork Chop Express, and I would constantly be on the CB radio, being like, "Let's take it from old Jack Burton here. There's some 6-foot crazy-eyed wild guy grabs you by the neck of your favorite shirt and says, 'Where's the rent?' You look him dead in his eyes and you say, it's in the mail." I haven't seen that movie in long enough. I used to know that quote. My mind's gone to mush. But yes, the Pork Chop Express would be the way to go. It's one of my favorites. All right, that one guy, being an owner op working for a company like Safeway Logistics is ALR. and you could get your own and you could own your own trailer if you're a flatbedder. And you could get your own trailer if you're a flatbedder. They do sometimes own their own flatbed? Okay. Robert, yes, you can get a used one for about 80 grand. See, about 80 grand. As I say, 100 grand is about what I was thinking. Oof. That one guy, I don't know about containers. See, on top of that, Lona, damn, 100 grand. See, I knew it because I mean, it's a semi. They're huge. My uncle, I only have one uncle that lived past fucking anything, and he's old and not healthy, but he was disowned by the family, so we never count him, but he's technically out there, but he has problems too. Anyway, that being said, yeah, he's gone, but he worked on semis. He was an engine. He'd work on the engines of them, and yeah, dude, the work on them is insane. Fucking yeah. I knew they were expensive. You could probably get a fucking 200 grand one easy. Yeah, those tricked out ones. We were driving. Oh, she's not around. But we were driving to fucking Crested View, and we saw this fucking neon party light lit up fucking semi that was like, I don't know if it was a party bus in the back of that or what, but there was lights on it and like fucking. It was so bright. I'm like, how are you just causing accidents out in the middle of literally fucking nowhere? Imagine being at like 2 a.m. You're like tired. You're just coming back from something crazy, and like you're all fucking coming, sobering up, and then fucking this neon party semi. It was weird looking. That one guy, trucks are pretty expensive, and I wouldn't get a used one unless it had a recent overhaul. Yeah, that's a freaky thing to think of too. But a new one, what's a fucking new one go for? Yeah. Like I said, 200,000 is probably easy to get to. You probably have a G'd up fucking. You have a $200,000 fucking semi. You're a pimp, probably. Better be nice. Like I said, I want the pork chop express. That's all I want. But again, I don't know if I could hang in that life. I already lived my life on the road a lot. Like I would average at least 200 miles a day every day, 6 days a week anyway. And then drive on my off days. I would be driving all the time. And I'd do more than 200 and then I'd come home and drive people around. So it is a little bit weird. That one guy, 200K usually, yeah, for a new one, or 150K. Yeah. Which, you know what? That was where I was guessing. I was starting at 100,000 on those. Well, I mean, cars are expensive as balls, dude. Normal cars. My truck was a heretic. That bastard. That one guy. Bud, being an owner op is stressful and over 200 miles a week. Yeah. I was doing, like 200 miles a day. And I was getting close. Like I said, I was working and driving constantly, but I was out of my car at the most I would be in my car would be for about 25, less than half an hour max. That's if I had to go from my farthest run north to my farthest run south and hit some traffic. You know what I mean? Would be about half an hour. That one guy, that's what I meant. And over 200 miles a day. Okay, I got you. I'm like, yeah, dude, I was pulling over 200 a day, averaging about 200 a day. Some days I'd do about 170. Some days I'd do like 230, or 250 even, I think. But that's maxing it out because that's a long day. And like I said, I'm getting out of my car every 30 minutes. So that means I'm doing long fucking days, and I'm in my car constantly. That used to be my life, where I get out. I was only out of my car for like 5 minutes. And then in my car for like 20. So, do that for fucking 10, 12 hours. I'd work a 12-hour shift too. Man, I was balling too. I had a great job. Loved my job. Pizza driving can be amazing. I did it. I've been there for 14 years. I've had it where it sucked. I've had it where it was, Robert, I averaged 300 a day. And that makes sense because, like I said, if you're in your truck for longer periods and you don't have to get out, like I could never just burn. Yeah, imagine getting 200 miles a day, But you're not allowed to drive for more than 30 minutes without taking a 5-minute break. That's your rule. Every 30 minutes, you have to get out and take at least a 5-minute break. And that's max. Maybe on average, every 10 to 15 minutes, you have to get out and take a 5-minute break. Maybe even a 10-minute break. Because that's what I would do. You know, you get out, you make a delivery. Come back, you make it, and then you get in. And once you come back, you gotta pick up the deliveries another 5 minutes. Then you get driving, then you gotta, and that's, you know, enter in where you're going and shit. So I'm like, fuck, dude, to get to 200 miles, like, yeah, if you're just driving, even just driving, that's crazy. But yeah, when I'm thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, fucking dude, if I was averaging 200 miles and fucking doing that, that's just, it's crazy. Like I said, that's a 12-hour workday of getting in and out of your car. But I was getting in and out of my car good too, so I was a little bit in better shape. Now I need to get in better shape too. That's another thing about driving a semi is my brother-in-law, you know, it's easy to kind of get out of shape. You're in your car a lot. Although he moves stuff, which has helped him a lot. Now he's a CrossFit guy, so he's ketoed out. He's got a handlebar mustache, so watch out. He's a great guy. That one guy, you'll regret it, in my opinion. You'll miss out a lot of family and You'll miss out and a lot of family experiences. Yeah, well, like I said, I had a friend. He can't do it. He just gave it up and moved back in with his parents, and he's happier now. But he is able to move out, buy his own house. Oops. Move out, buy his own house, be on the road all the time. I mean, that's not for me, but this guy right here alone needs so much attention, dude. This kitty right here who's been on my lap this whole time. Robert, I get 7 hours off time out of the day. Wait, 7 hours off time out of the day? That's crazy. Off time out of the day. Oh, it's officially 10 o'clock. That one guy, family's on to everything, to be honest. Family's great, but this pandemic has already took them away for this last year. And I don't see enough of my family anyway. I do love seeing them and all, but they're not as big a part of my life as I would like them to be. It is what it is right now. Hopefully things get better. Well, they don't. Fuck them. Fuck all of them. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I was talking about what the best jobs I ever knew were. First, or like most money for decent jobs. I could drive a limo and make fucking $400 or $500 a day, and fucking that sounds good to me. Wear a little suit like a douche, but still, I'd do it. That one guy, not an owner op then. If you're using an ELD, you couldn't, or your company isn't getting any loads, nor are you. Not an owner op then. I'm lost on that shit. I know nothing. I don't even know what an ELD is. Is that isn't there some kind of Elder Scroll in that? Now, the other job I'm actually thinking about applying for and doing. Oh, you're talking to Robert. Not an owner op then. If you're using an ELD, you couldn't, or your company isn't getting any loads, nor are you. The 7 hours off thing, yeah, I don't know exactly what that was about. But he is, I think, driving right now. So it's not, God damn it, Robert. No, talking to Robert. Yeah, I got you. But the job I'm thinking of is being a mailman. I just saw my friend who's a mailman today because he was out delivering mail, and I happened to be out and about and saw him. And that guy made more money than almost anybody I know. Granted, he's been there 14 years, but I've been at my job 14. I think he said 16. I've been at my job 14, which means he only got his job a couple years before I got mine. And he is making as a mailman, he's making more money than anyone I know. Granted, this guy lives at the post office. He works constantly because you get fucking like triple time or some shit after a while. And during the holidays, if you work fucking extra time on the holidays, it's like time and a half and shit like that, and all these crazy things. He's constantly making time and a half. And yeah, mailman. My grandfather was a mailman, so that also is appealing. I'm like, well, my grandfather did it, so that's kind of cool. On my mom's side, he was a mailman, and my mom liked him anyway. But that dude, there's a lot of right now they're hiring at like $18 an hour, which isn't bad. And then there's a lot of advancements there. It's a hard job, but mailman might not be terrible. I couldn't see me in a mailman outfit, but it's possible. It could happen. But then this show might take a fucking hit, and I don't know how I'm gonna move to the mountains. My goal is to find a way to work up in the mountains. The mighty low knock. I crush human skulls 40 hours a day. That sounds like what the mighty low knock would do. No, I work customer service 40 a day. I don't make much, but I got a roof and I got a roof, food, and weed. Yep. I'm not complaining. I just would like my roof to be located in another place in my house, I guess, under it as well. I want not just the roof. Don't just take my roof. 40 hours a week. Yeah. I have been working a lot less, but it's been really stressful, and I don't know when I'm getting those hours off. And I needed to be doing the show more. I just got my new SD reader, so I'll be able to. Hey, what you running for? Quit looking for the panda. I need to start doing the show more, and working doesn't help that. We're gonna spin the wheel of dabs here. All right, that one guy. And on a personal time, you don't get paid per mile well at all. And on personal time, you don't. Yeah, dude, I don't know. And dude, the thing with me is I had a job and I've been doing it years and years and years. But I paid for my own car, I paid for my own insurance, and I got totaled at work. Someone totaled my car, and my job doesn't care. That sucks, man. So you know what I mean? It was the whole time I had my own car at risk. My own life is at risk. All my shit is on me. If I get pulled over, it's on me. If I do this, it's on me. My insurance, on me. My gas, on me. And I'm like, okay, so, I mean, that's kind of cool. That's why they're like, you can't tell me too much about what I do on my fucking car because you don't even fucking help me pay for it. I totaled my car and, so I feel like I worked for all that time making great money, got my car totaled, took about a $17,000 to $18,000 loss, and I'm like, wow, well, there's where all that money went. I worked really, really hard, got a car, was looking really nice, and then it just gets taken away, and I'm like, fuck, there was time well spent, money well spent. Frank, hello, that one guy, howdy. I just wouldn't recommend semi-driving. I'm not doing it. Mostly for the drugs. Let's just pretend they all have massive drug tests, and I can't pass those. So I couldn't do it. And so, maybe what my brother-in-law does, where he doesn't leave the state. I could maybe do that. Mailman would be great. I would love to move to the mountains and find a job that I can do reasonably close to there. So whatever's up there, dude, I'll work something stupid, just enough to put some cash in my pocket and not have to drive 4 hours. All right. Did I already spin it and land it on the purple shark? Because it's here. I can't remember. Or was I just fucking with it from here? I guess we'll just spin it. Let's just spin it and see what happens, huh? Oh, kitty cat. All right. Around the wheel goes. Where she lands, only Nick knows. And he's not with us, so no spoilers. Oh, free choice. Well, we're gonna bust out a different rig finally, even though I'm being lazy. It's 10 o'clock, and all is well. I'm gonna finish this joint, of course. See, this pot just goes out. I hit it, it goes out. Hit it, it goes out. Not that I'm the quickest at smoking it when I'm talking as well, but this pot's good. It's sun-grown in Salida, all cool things, and it just goes out like it's like damp, but it's not damp. I don't know. It just wasn't cured properly or something. I know that they grow a shit ton, and they use mechanical trimming machines, those giant like things where you shove the buds in and it rolls it around with a bunch of blades on every side, so all the leaves that are sticking out. So at the end of it, it just comes out these little nugs, these like perfect little round nuggets. Most of mine are all tiny, but I had some decent nuggets in there. They're all in the bottom apparently, but yeah, fucking trim machines don't help the situation. This is one of the first times where I know for a fact it's good pot. It's just it was grown under the sun. That shouldn't hurt it. And it was in a trim machine, which shouldn't, that definitely doesn't help it. Lonock, I bought some OCB premium thin hemp paper. They are awesome. That's my girlfriend's favorite. Those OCBs, and they're I'd say they're just as good as raw. They might be a little bit better than these raw classics, slightly. But raw makes those black, thin, ultra premiums. I've never got them, but I have a feeling that those would be just as good. Robert Riggs, I recommend not driving a semi if you haven't been driving for that long of a time. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been driving a long time, and I've been on the road constantly, doing like I do good driving long periods. When I do road trips, I do them all myself, like 16-hour runs, easy. There's things like that I do where I'm like, I know I could handle driving. I've done it. Spent hours and hours and hours on the road, but it's just not something I'm thinking of. But you did intrigue me with the idea of owning your own semi and self-contracting yourself out rather than working with a FedEx truck. But either way, it's interesting. I'm not necessarily looking for another job at this moment. I still like my job, to be 100% honest. I'm always worried about it. I don't know if the person I work for likes, I know he doesn't like me. So that doesn't help. Little shit like that isn't the best. So I'm trying to keep a positive attitude. I'm trying to do good. I'm just, yeah, not looking for another job. My goal is to move to the mountains, and eventually this job used to be able to where I could work a 12-hour day and like work like 3 of those and then spend the rest of the time at home, and that would have been fine. But it's getting harder and harder to do that, and now I don't even know what's going on. I'll figure it all out. I know that my big goal is growing my own pot, saving a lot of money there. Growing my own food, trying to save as much money as I can there. Yeah, little things like that. Cutting down on my expenses, boosting up my self-sufficiency, shit like that. Frank, Oregon Trail. Hello from Oregon? Are you in Oregon? Or you say go to Oregon? Donate organs? All right. I'm going to put some water in this beast. We're going to do a dab. finish this joint, smoke a bit of a bowl, and then we're going to call it a night. Frank, yes to all of those. Move to Oregon. You're in Oregon. Donate organs. Best place to grow weed. Yeah, I mean, if I could go anywhere, if I was super rich and I wanted to grow, I would maybe go to Ukiah and grow with the Mendo Dope Boys, just because I think they'd be cool to hang out with and make music with, and they grow some awesome trees. I'm down. One of the good things I like about pot is it grows everywhere, which brings me to the thing I'm always thinking of is pot grows outdoors pretty much everywhere, right? They're like, oh, it grows like a weed. That's what everyone says about pot. It grows like a weed. It grows everywhere. Right? Isn't that the big stigma? You can grow pot anywhere. But I've never like been out and about in any place, anywhere, and seen just pot growing. I don't know. Best in the Northwest. Yeah, yeah. And even Ukiah and all that, that's Northern California, so it's getting up that way. So you're not wrong. Sandy, hey Frank, you got me curious. Where in Oregon would you recommend? Certainly not Portland. Yeah, I don't know the area at all. Shit, what was I mixing it up with the other week? God, we were talking about a completely different state. We're talking about like Washington. And I'm like Portland, Washington. So stoned. I sober up and realize the things I say, and fortunately I don't care enough to really feel bad about it. But oh my God, I'm a stoner. All right. Frank, no to Portland, I'm guessing. Not the best place to grow. That's the city. As far as I know. I'm sure, I mean, so Southern Oregon on the coast. I know British Columbia up that way also, they grew some killer weed out there. Do you grow outside, like outdoor grow you're talking? Which that's great. I can't even grow outdoor here to compare them. Be like, well, I grow some pretty good outdoor just because the regulations and I need the area. Like I said, my goal is to go to the mountains, not to grow a bunch of weed. No, I would like to at least grow a plant or two, if I have it secured in a way, or if I have my own fucking property where there's no risk of other people coming around. I don't need like a plantation by any means, but I definitely want to grow at least one of those big ass Mendo dope sized trees. Try and do that at least once a year, and then just keep an indoor grow, something like that. That's the goal. I have a lot of goals in mind. At least I have somewhere I'm trying to go to. You know what I mean? Something to work for and something to work towards. If you don't have that, it's kind of hard to know what, yeah, just being rich is mostly most people's goal, but how and what you would do with it is just as important. And being rich is so far from my ideas of what will ever happen. Self-sufficient will be wonderful. Off of doing like something a little bit more entertainment based, this show or music or movies, or do something like that is how I would like to make a living. Growing weed would be a great way. I don't know though. Right now there's so many people growing, it's hard to get into that industry. Being a bud tender is the easiest way to get in that industry, and that's just like selling anything else. I was gonna say shoes, but I think selling shoes might be more in depth than selling fucking bud anymore. Shoe salesmen are like, hey, I gotta do a lot of like touching people's feet. That's way worse than bud tending. Sandy, what the hell? I'm living in the Bay Area. Might as well move up closer to Cascada Quake Fault Line. I might be saying that way wrong. Cascada. Cascada. Don't listen to my stupid ass. The Quake Fault Line. Frank, and your bud and buds you smoke and shoes you wear. And buds you smoke and shoes you wear. Laugh out loud. Yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not into being like a low-level guy in most dispensaries. Plus, no one will hire me. Even at a dispensary, they're like, yeah, you just don't look professional on it. No. Actually, most dispensaries are just like dispensaries, head shops, everywhere that I would like to work, skate shops, music stores, all the things I really love, never have an opening. Back in the day, record stores and shit like that, never have an opening. Every time I'm like, I'll work. Oh, shit. I don't have any more dab right now. Fuck, it's in my car. Huh, do I have anything? No. What are we going to do? I have this disgusting hash. It's so gross. It's the worst. I guess we'll take a little bit of it. It's all I got, and I already loaded this. Try and scrape up some of this, maybe. At least mix it with some okay hash. Oh, no. No. I took my hash with me, and I forgot to bring it inside. I knew that was going to happen. Damn it. Alright, so what are we going to put it on? I have a semi-clean. This is semi-clean. Not great. It's not going to hurt this gross hash that much. Alright, let's try. That's not working. So I guess it doesn't matter. That stuff's not coming off. Dang it. Alright, well, let's smoke this disgusting hash. I think this is the less disgusting of the worst disgusting hash I've ever had. Well, cheers, everybody. Let's do a dab of this and then drink some gasoline to wash the terrible taste out of our mouth. And then set ourselves on fire. We'll call it a protest. Cascada Fault Line is off the coast of Oregon and the Washington State. Oh, God, it's like burnt fucking hair. When it goes, when it goes, the Northwest will disappear under a monster tsunami of hatred and death. Why must you taste so bad? We'll all surf to Colorado and hang out with you, brah. I thought it was going to be Arizona coast, Arizona Bay. When California breaks off, it'll just be Arizona Bay. Fuck this noise. Worst hash ever. Nope. Fuck that stuff. Fuck it so hard. So gross. That just needs to be eradicated off the face of the planet. High-tech concentrates. I swear to God, I'm going to get a hold of them and rip them a new fucking asshole. Be like, dude, I have like 8 grams of unusable garbage. It's unsmokable. And if they tell me to go fuck myself, which I know they will, we'll bring tasty dabs for you. Oh, That's the worst. This is the worst hash I've ever fucking smoked. I bought like a shit ton of it. They were selling ounces. I shouldn't have done that, but they were selling ounces of it, and I bought them from there before, and it was okay. I've had dude, that company has gone down so bad. They just buy the most garbage pot ever. I mean, like molded, rotten, horrendous. They have to, and then extract it using piss and fucking vinegar. And then they're like, all right, sell it for fucking cheap and tell them they'll fuck off. If they don't like it, they was tell them it was cheap and get what you pay for. Like I said, I might end up doing that. I'm gonna make edibles out of it because maybe if I melt it in chocolate, I was gonna get this little mini candy melter, but my girlfriend said she can get a little crock pot, a little mini one, which is perfect. And I'm like, oh yes, that'll be perfect. I can melt down some chocolate and make vegan chocolate edibles, and I'm gonna put them in little cookie things, and maybe eating it will be okay. I'm not a huge edible guy, but I'll tell you what, I can't fucking smoke those fucking things. It's unsmokable. Really makes me appreciate the hash I was smoking. Sandy, I just learned the name for shit like that is Reggie. I kept reading the word Reggie, and I've heard Reggie for years on rappers, from rappers. Most lingo comes from rappers now anyway. And I'm like, oh, okay, Reggie. That Reggie weed. So I'd heard that, but I kept reading it. I'd be like, Reggie? You know, how I stumble through all the reading. It's kind of hard in this room. It's gotten better in the front room because I have a second monitor finally. It's a tiny one, but it's set up like right next to the camera too, so I can just read like without doing this number like in here. Which I guess I don't have to do that. What could I do? I could maybe make it like that, and then maybe bring it up just a tad. I don't know. Something like that might work a little bit better. Not quite as much head movement of me being an idiot. But there we go. There we go. So yeah, when I was reading Reggie, I'd be like, Reggie, what the fuck is that? And then someone's like, you know, like shitty weed, Reggie. And I'm like, eventually I got it. I'm like, okay, yes, I do know that. All right. All right. There we go. And there we go. All right. All right, Sandy. Looks to me like Reggie is moldy old flour and generally gives you a headache when you smoke it. Yeah, well, I mean, shitty weed. So I've heard. I'm locked on my guitar there. I've heard a lot of people say that, like back when you had sticks and stems, The old school weed, that was Reggie. That was the old school regular weed. Hey, Nick, yo, sorry I'm late. I'm glad I stayed on at least long enough to see you for a bit there, Nick. Frank, back in the day, we used to call it paraquat weed or Colombian. That's kind of neat. Paraquat. Lonock, I blasted 1985 Slayer this morning so all my neighbors could hear it. That's funny. I'm not much of a guitar player. But yeah, this is my Harley Benton I got, which I wish I could say I loved this guitar. But there's a lot of little things I'm not super stoked on. Goes out of tune like a son of a bitch. But apparently I can't play right now either. I don't know much of guitars. All right. But fun times. There were some really funny Saturday Night Live skits about paraquat weed. That's kind of funny. I never saw those. I didn't watch a lot of Saturday Night Live. And back in the day or now, I thought there was a perfect time where they had, what was it? Chris Rock, Chris Farley, David Spade, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, if I didn't already say that. There was that time, and that was awesome. Sandy, that was back in the mid-'70s, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I guess Adam Sandler was in there. Click, click. Is there any quick way? Click asks if there's a quick way to build a tolerance, or do I just smoke a lot of strong weed? Slow tolerance. Start with a little bit, go up. Although sometimes having a big tolerance is not the best thing because you got to smoke more and it costs more. Frank, we smoked it as kids. Paraquat. I don't know paraquat, like I said. That's a newbie. I'm a noob. God, I suck at guitar. That's okay. Sandy, lung burn, I bet. I'm 61 now. Breath great. Hey, you got some things happen. That's a good sign. I'm hoping you're saying you have good lungs still. Sandy, 62 and still breathing. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking trying to hang in there, right? Nick, I'm really drunk and I'm really tired, so I think I'll go to bed. I'll catch you Tuesday for sure. Yep. If you want, if you haven't already, do a vote, and I'm doing on what game I'm going to play next week. Sandy, speaking of tired and drunk, sign off for the night. Peace and love. Peace and love to all of you. It's about that time for me, too. God, I suck at the guitar. All right. Well, Sandy, have a good night. Nick, have a good night. I thought about drinking, but then I thought about drinking, but I drank this morning, says Lonog. Hey, hitting it early. I haven't had a drink in a long time, but more on you if you do. I don't care. It's good to have a drink every now and then. Water's good to have a drink. But, all right, everybody. I'll quit fucking making your minds bleed with my terrible guitar playing. I'm rusty, and I suck. Guitar playing isn't my strong point. There we go. Good night, everybody. This Tuesday, be sure and vote what game you want to see. Right now, Don't Starve is in the lead, so we'll probably be playing Don't Starve, getting high, hanging out again. More videos to come. Fun, stupid stuff. Great way to take your mind off of the rest of the stupid shit in the world. Thank you for helping me take my mind off of all the stupid shit. Till next time, take it easy. Keep it keepy. Thanks again, guys.